And it is such a huge shift in my head. I didn't think it would be like this big, but don't get me wrong. Like, I don't know. I'm just learning to not be a teacher. Like, I see the beginning of school year stuff go up, and initially I'm like, ooh, no, not yet. Ew, that's gross. Put it away, put it away. But I don't have to get ready for my own classroom. And it's just kind of blowing my mind. Like, normally I would already be at the school and I would be dragging my kids along with me, and I'd be making my room all cute and getting all the supplies and, putting a bunch of my own money into my classroom, getting snacks. Sorry, I have a kitty back here. You stop it. Hey. Again, with the kittens. Whoa. They're about 20 weeks old now, and they're just super playful, but I'm going to try my best to ignore them. So if you can see this behind me in the video, this is actually in the video. This is from my classroom, and this is from my classroom, and this is from my classroom. Like, a lot of the stuff I have in here is from my classroom. So it's just weird. I'm repurposing it. This isn't real wood. Somebody was like, you look like you're in an outhouse. I'm not in an outhouse. Anyway, for the people that can't see, it's my old bulletin board backing. And then the chain up here, sorry, I'm distracted easy. But this chain that's up here, this is actually a teamwork chain. So when my students are working together, they do a really good line. We get compliments from the teacher. We have really great behavior, maybe in music. I'll give them links on the chain, and when the chain hits the floor, they get a whole class reward. And then we were trying to make the chain go all the way around the room, and it didn't make it. But I thought it was a cute background, and the kids are just not kids. The kittens are just kind of destroying it. Anyway, but like that kind of stuff is what I'm thinking about normally this time of the year, and I don't have to think about that right now. I can put all that energy that I put towards my classroom into other stuff. And it's just been really rewarding to be able to put that time and that energy into taking care of myself and into my house and my kids. I'm working on my daughter's bedroom. We're just trying to make it fit her a little bit more so we can claim our bed back. I don't know if any of you have that problem where you have extra humans in your bed in the morning. We're trying to curb that habit. So I think part of it is just making their bedrooms a place that they enjoy. So we're doing that one kid at a time. See, and those are kind of things that I would be doing. Feel like I'm doing the same things. Like, I'm helping my daughter with her bedroom, and I'm helping decorate and stuff, doing the same stuff, but I'm doing it as a mom instead. And so I'm still getting that creative itch. Like, that's part of what I loved about my last school, is that I was able to have a lot of creativity, but the stress is totally different now. Like, my daughter is worried. She's 7, she's going into 2nd grade, and she's just kind of worried about what it's going to be like because she's never been at school without me, ever. And even at preschool, I was at her preschool. Even if I wasn't there all the time, like, I was still available. And normally I'd be right down the hallway, and I'm not going to be right down the hallway anymore. I'm going to be home. And it's so hard to wrap her brain around. Like, I can go watch out teachers at her school. I can come in anytime, right? Like, if I'm able to, and I can volunteer some of my services, I can do that, but I don't have to be spending hours and hours and hours creating year-long plans and to-do lists and going over curriculum. And like, about now I'd be at the school setting up my classroom. I'm not doing that, setting up my kids' room. Or I'd already be like halfway through my year-long plan and going through all kinds of materials and things. And I think I mentioned last time I really love books, book recommendations, send them my way. There's apparently a lot of books I have not read, especially because I couldn't see or hear for a little bit. Being a teacher, not being able to read books is really hard. So, off topic again, look at me. See, not so genius. Getting distracted. um, it's just nice to be able to read books that I want to read. Like I'm diving into a bunch of different series and I'm trying to like get my kids excited about reading, like my own kids, like my own personal children. Like all my students in the past, I keep running into them. And I think I'm always going to be a teacher. Like you're not going to take that away from me. I worked really, really hard to do that. And I did lots of school. I got my master's. And I'm not going to let that go to waste. But it's just been really rewarding to how can I put it? Like you can't give 110% of yourself to all areas of your life all the time. And honestly, I felt like I was, if you've ever seen one of those sideshow acts or circus acts where it's like a juggler, but they're spinning plates on sticks and they're just running around keeping all these plates spinning. And it's like this really cool balancing act. I can't do that all the time. I can't do that for a long time. And when the plates fall, they break. And I don't have plates to replace them all the time. So if I am able to, I want to be able to take some of those plates down. Maybe I don't need all the plates spinning, right? And I'm very fortunate, very lucky to be able to stay at home this school year. Who knows? Maybe I'll go back next year or the year after. But it's the beginning of the school year is just as scary for the teachers as it is for the students because we have no idea what batch of kids we're going to get until we get right up close to there. And like, who knows what the day-to-day routines are going to be like and what the expectations are and if your curriculum is going to be there and if you're going to have all your supplies and what about getting sick? Like this last year I was sick a lot and I hated leaving my students behind, but really I had to go take care of myself so I could be there for them. And they had great subs. There was maybe like one or two that were kind of but I mean, that's going to happen anywhere you go. So I just think as we're approaching the beginning of the school year, some things to keep in mind and some things to think about is finding that balance. And that's for everybody because we talk a lot in school about making sure you're balanced and that you're not doing too much play and not enough work. Like you have to get your work done too. And part of our goal is to make sure we're having fun because if you're having fun, you can learn without realizing it. And it's a lot more enjoyable to be together if you're having a good time. So, it's just, oh my gosh, finding the balance between making sure that you have enough play and enough of the work because you don't want them to play around all day and not learn anything. And you don't want them to be working so hard that they're stressed out all the time. And I've noticed I used to teach first grade. Before that, I taught PE for a minute and art. That's a really long story. I'm not sure how much of that I've actually talked about. I'm kind of like Dory. I get short-term memory loss. Wow, memory loss. Often. And so bear with me. I appreciate your patience. I have a whole list over here trying to make sure I stay on track. But I think everybody, like I talked about it with my students at the beginning of the school year and all throughout the school years, making sure you have that balance. But when you're a teacher, and I know I talked about this before, it's really, really difficult to find that work-life balance, period, as a teacher. Taking time off for doctor's appointments and things like that can be hard to do. And you want to give